Okay, let's read. This is our last sutta for this chapter, chapter 2. The first discourse. Thus have I heard on one occasion the Blessed One was dwelling at Varanasi in the deer park at Isipatana. There the Blessed One addressed the monks of the group of 5 thus. Monks, these two extremes should not be followed by one who has gone forth into homelessness. What two? The pursuit of sensual happiness in sensual pleasures, which is low, vulgar, the way of worldlings, ignoble, unbeneficial. And the pursuit of self-mortification, which is painful, ignoble, unbeneficial. Without fearing toward either of these extremes, the Tathagata has awakened to the middle way, which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge, and leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to Nibbana. And what monks is that middle way awakened to by the Tathagata? It is this noble path that is right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. These monks is that middle way awakened to by the Tathagata, which gives rise to vision, which gives rise to knowledge and leads to peace, to direct knowledge, to enlightenment, to Nibbana. So here the Buddha started with the 2 extremes. The first one is the pursuit of sensual happiness in pleasures, in sensual pleasures. And the second one is the pursuit of self-mortification. I think one time I remember Bante Ratanasara mentioned that notice that the Buddha doesn't say it is wrong to pursue this, but it is just the way of the worldlings. It is not the way of the noble ones. It is ignoble, it's unbeneficial. And this is just the way a lot of people get by. It's the way of the worldlings. And the second one, the pursuit of self-mortification, is ignoble, painful, and unbeneficial. So here, ignoble is the opposite of noble, which is not what the noble ones do. And then the Buddha, after mentioning these 2 extremes, direct them towards the middle way. What is the middle way? It's this noble evil path, which is what the book we have read before. Next paragraph, Sister Choi Kwan, would you like to read?
Now these monks is the noble truth of suffering. Birth is suffering. Aging is suffering. Illness is suffering. Death is suffering. Union with what is displeasing is suffering. Separation from what is pleasing is suffering. Not to get what wants is suffering. In brief, the 5 aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. Thank you.
Thanks, Sister Choi Kwan. So this is the first noble truth. Let's see how many is listed here. Birth, aging, illness, death, union with what is displeasing, separation from what is pleasing, 6, not to get what one wants, 7, and the 5 aggregate subject to clinging. So 8 are listed here. This is the first noble truth. Next, Sister Saike, would you like to read?
Now this month is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. It is this craving that leads to renewed existence, accompanied by delight and lust. seeking delight here and there, that is craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for extermination.
Okay, thanks again. Okay, so this is the second noble truth, the origin of suffering. What is that exactly? Craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for extermination. Next paragraph is the IKIM, which you like to read.
Now this, monks, is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. It is the remainderless fading away and cessation of that same craving, and the giving up and relinquishing of it, freedom from it, non-attachment. Now this, monks, is a noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering. It is this noble eightfold path that is right view, right concentration.
Okay, so this is the thanks, Sister IKIM. Now this is the third noble truth. What is it? What it is exactly? It is actually describing Nibbana. This is one of the ways to describe Nibbana. Remainderless fading away and cessation of that same craving. Giving up and relinquishing of that craving, freedom from the craving, non-attachment. The fourth noble truth, the last noble truth, is the path itself, which is just this noble eightfold path again. And the Buddha concludes, this is the noble truth of suffering. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and like. Let's take a look at footnote number 32. The first section under the exposition of each noble truth simply reveals the knowledge of the truth itself. The first section. Okay. Okay, so here Bhikkhu Bodhi says the first section is just about the knowledge itself. I think we will continue on with the next one. Sister Shromi, would you like to read?
This noble truth of suffering is to be fully understood. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light.
Okay.
This noble truth of suffering has been fully understood. Thus, monks, in regard to the things heard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light.
Okay, thanks, Sister Shromi. Footnotes number 33. The second section under the exposition of each noble truth reveals the knowledge of the task to be accomplished with regard to the truth. Kichanyana. The first noble truth is to be fully understood. Parinyaya. The second to be abandoned. Pahataba. The third to be realized. Sachikataba. And the fourth to be developed. Bhavetaba. Footnotes number 34. Okay. The third section under the exposition of each noble truth reveals the knowledge of the completion of the task appropriate to that truth. Katanya. The first noble truth has been fully understood. Parinyata. The second has been abandoned. Bahina. The third has been realized. Sachikata. And the fourth has been developed. Bhaveta. So let's go back a little bit. The first footnote mentioned this is just regarding the knowledge. This is the noble truth of suffering. Let me highlight this. So this is the knowledge itself. And secondly, this is the difference. This is to be fully understood. This noble truth is to be fully understood. So here Bhikkhu Bodhi mentioned, this section refers to the task to be accomplished with regard to the truth. The last one, after doing the task, this is the difference. This noble truth of suffering has been fully understood. So this one mentioned. This reveals the knowledge of the completion of the task of each truth. So you can see how systematic this noble truth is. Having the knowledge and then accomplish the task, and then finally completion of the task. Next one is Sister Billy. Would you like to read?
This is the noble truth of the origin of suffering. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light. This noble truth of the origin of suffering is to be abandoned. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light. This noble truth of the origin of suffering has been abandoned. Thus, monks, in regards to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light.
Okay, thanks, Sister Billy. So the same pattern is repeated again for each of the noble truths. Now we are at the origin of suffering. So let's see. Okay, the next one is the Xinghui. Would you like to read?
This is the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering is to be realized. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light. This noble truth of the cessation of suffering has been realized. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light.
Okay, thanks, Sister Xinghui. Now we are at the third noble truth. The noble truth of cessation of suffering. The last noble truth, Sister Lin Toy, would you like to read?
This is a noble truth of the way leading to cessation of suffering. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering is to be developed. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light. This noble truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering has been developed. Thus, monks, in regard to things unheard before, there arose in me vision, knowledge, wisdom, penetration, and light.
Thanks, Sister Lin. Now the same pattern is repeated for the last noble truth. Okay, I think this is a good time to stop. Any questions or comments? If not, let's do a dedication. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了。普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。 Amitabha. Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a noble Saturday ahead.